Okay, today we are talking about the advantages of electromagnet. There are four major advantages of electromagnet, and first of them is number one is what? Magnetic strength of electromagnet can be increased or it can be decreased according to the requirement. Increasing the current in the circuit, we can increase the magnetic strength of that electromagnet, or we can increase the number of turns of the solenoid to increase the strength of electromagnet. Just for example, this is a current carrying solenoid. If we pass current through it, then this is the solenoid which is made around this nail, and this solenoid is carrying current. And when a current carrying solenoid, inside the current carrying solenoid, a piece of iron is placed, then it gains magnetism. This way, this is electromagnet. But how can we increase its strength? We can increase its strength by increasing current. How? Look at this. If I use two cells, look at these two cells are if used, then magnetic strength becomes more. Now the same magnet will be able to pick up a heavy load also, heavy metal also, like this. It's attracting the heavy metal also. This way, magnetic strength can be increased by increasing current. In previous class also I told you about this. In the same way, we can increase the magnetic strength by increasing the number of turns of this solenoid. There are two methods of increasing the magnetic strength of an electromagnet. That's why, but the same is not true for permanent magnet. Once a permanent magnet is made, it is made, now strength cannot be increased or it cannot be decreased. This is one of the great advantages of electromagnet. Its magnetic strength can be increased or decreased. Now second point I want to say that electromagnet can be made for required time period. It can be made for required time period. Required time. Just for example, this is an electromagnet when it is connected to a cell, and we can make it electromagnet till electric current passes through it. When electric current passes through it, it has magnetism. But if electric current is not passed through it, now it lost the magnetism. Look at this. That's why an electromagnet can be made for required time period. How long we pass the current, for that much long time period, it becomes an electromagnet, it becomes a magnet. Otherwise, it loses magnetism, it is temporary magnet. Okay, now let's talk about another point, third point. Magnetic pole of electromagnet can be changed. Pole can be changed. What it means? If we have a permanent magnet, it has a definite permanent north pole and south pole. We cannot change the north pole and south pole of that permanent magnet. But in this case, in electromagnet, we can change its pole also. Just for example, this is a magnetic compass and it has a definite north pole and south pole. Look at this. This is the arrow-like structure inside it. This is a magnetic compass, and this arrowhead is representing north pole and the tail part represents south pole. Now if I make a magnet like this, then if I take it near to it, look at the south pole is attracted. It means this part, the head of the nail, becomes north pole. The same head which has north pole can be converted to south pole. How? If I connect this just opposite way, like this, I connect this way, opposite direction, then look at this. Now the head is attracting the arrowhead of the compass. It means north pole is attracted by this head. It means now it is south pole. Previously it was north pole, now it is south pole because direction of current is changed. And this way we can change the pole of the magnet in case of electromagnet, but it is not possible in case of a permanent magnet. Okay, now next let's talk about another point also. Any shape and size of electromagnet can be made easily. Any shape and size of electromagnet can be made. What it mean? This is very simple to understand. In this case, I took a nail and shape is different. And if this solenoid is taken out, and if I took this a rod-like structure, another one, then this one becomes electromagnet. In place of this, if this solenoid is made around a U-shaped iron piece, then we can make a U-shaped magnet. If this is wound around any shape of the ferromagnetic substance, then that substance can be made magnet. That's why the shape and size may be big. If we can make big electromagnet also using long wire, and if we make long solenoid, then that can also be made magnet. But small, this nail can also be made magnet, or pin can be made converted to magnet. This way any shape and size of electromagnet can be made. These are the four major advantages of electromagnet. What? Strength can be changed, and magnet can be made for required time period according to the requirement. Pole can be changed, and any shape of magnet can be made. It may be huge or it may be small. Okay, this much for today.